Welcome back to the Black Light Podcast. ThonLexy here with another live reaction. Welcome back to the show. Man, is the delusion high over at Kendra G's show. Let me say, the whole Travelicia, the whole emphasis on Black women and their unhealthy emphasis in regards to travel started at this platform. You have to do stuff like that nowadays because people don't want to just give you your credit. It's not the same YouTube it used to be. It's not the same world it used to be. So again, I'm not going to let that go without being stated. Without us, you don't have all these people around putting this emphasis. Even Kendra G herself, a lot of people are starting to now notice, and it started at our platform. And in regards to the feature presentation, I will say this: nobody's ever taken it so far. Let's get into it. Y'all know the rules. Everything over 20 qualifies as a show sponsor. If we reach a goal of $100, we come back here and react again. All right? Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm glad to be back. Drop those locations so I can shout them out. How you all doing today? It's time to get the Friday and the weekend started the correct way. Let's make it happen, BLP family. We got business.
Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said.
Let's handle business.
Die dog, die alone.
Whoa.
You see, stereophonic sound for the home.
Die dog, die alone.
I beg your pardon. Giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra.
I'm here to tell you right now.
Positions.
We don't
Now, when played back,
What the hell is even that?
systems, the sounds are blended together. What
the hell are you talking about?
Louisiana
got the 4th worst educational system in America.
Squared away. You wild. RM says she's first in the building. We already got a show sponsor. And only a few minutes left of music anyway. What we're going to do is we're going to stop the music and we're going to shout out James Dent. James came through and dropped 120 on the show. Y'all show James Dent some love. Much love to James Dent for sponsoring the show. We'll be back here tomorrow. Y'all gotta give my audio a second to pop back in. Here we go. Okay. We just need back to the audio. There we go. Okay. Now, so many archetypes to cover today. I don't want there to be a long intro. Again, we're just starting to see a lot of things that are just interesting. Let's go ahead and get into it. A lot of these archetypes basically speak for themselves. No disqualified demeanor, even though there's some demeanors that are awful today. But we're going to just move right into the delusion because there's a lot. Let's get into it. Let's spin the clip, BLP family. Cash Apps are the only thing that stopped the show. Y'all showed James Dent some love. He one of them ones, came through and sponsored the show immediately. That's love, man. That's love. I want to make sure I can see the comment section. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get into it.
Go tell the people where I get my lipstick, okay? Say hi to the people. Give me 1 second, guys. Look at beautiful Cali. Let's look at beautiful California. 1 second. I gotta get my lipstick right.
Hello, everybody.
All new Kendra G Singles dating app is available now on iPhones and Android phones. Just go to your App Store or Google Play Store and download now. Okay, I'm coming back. Okay. Hi, guys. All right. What's your name, honey?
Sharon.
Sharon.
Yes.
That's lipstick is acting up. All right, here you go. Oh, that's so much better. My lip gloss is popping. My lip gloss is popping. My lip gloss is popping. Sharon, what's your name?
My name is Sharon.
Sharon, where you calling me from? Your first time here?
Yeah.
Where you calling me from, Sharon? Philly. How old are you?
32.
Okay. And what you do for a living?
I'm a registered nurse.
Registered RN. Do you have any kids?
I have 4 children.
How old are your 4 kids?
11 months, 5, 6, and 9.
11 months? You didn't, baby, not even 1 yet.
He'll be 1 in a couple of weeks, yeah.
Why you not with the daddy?
He didn't want to be in a relationship, so.
Okay, so you have 11 months. What's the other 3 ages?
5, 6, and 9.
By how many men?
3.
We're asking questions about why there are so many single mother-led households when there are women having babies by men who they know don't want to even be in a romantic relationship with them. And this is what I say. This is what I mean when I say the whole deadbeat narrative thing in the black community. It's dishonest. It's not honest propaganda. The mothers in our community have an issue with picking fathers. That's a whole different issue. When women are actively breeding with men who have shown them in a way or another that they probably aren't long-term relationship material, how can you call those men deadbeat fathers? I don't know.
3 men. So why you not with the 5-year-old dad?
He was not faithful.
He wasn't faithful. Okay.
5 and a 6-year-old, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, they have the same dad. Okay. So we got here. What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Capricorn.
Capricorn. So we got Sharon Philly, 32 Capricorn, RN, mine of 4 kids by 3 men, never married, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
I'm looking for somebody that is very patient, understanding, kind, funny. I'm looking for somebody that is consistent. I'm looking for somebody that I can share my life with.
Okay. Now the men gonna say, why didn't you think of that before you had kids with 3 men? That's what they gonna say.
I always thought that way. Okay. I always thought that way. But they didn't have the same plan.
Okay.
Now, I agree with her that, and a lot of women who find themselves in this circumstance, I agree that you guys were trying to start a family a lot of the times. Like, you bring a man's baby to term thinking that a family will materialize, but it still doesn't mean that this isn't a reflection of your bad decision making. Because again, you didn't have to bring the man's baby to term. All reproductive rights lie with the woman. Y'all could yell this, you didn't have to shoot the club up stuff all you want. But when you are the one who determines if the baby lives or dies and gets to have a life or not, that means more of the accountability of the situation falls on you. If I want to keep my baby and raise it and you don't want the baby, there's nothing I can do about that. I can't even stop you from aborting the child. And so and some would say that that's not fair also.
Okay. So did you guys discuss the plan before
Hit the
you
like
had
button on your way into the
kids
room,
together?
everybody.
Yes, we did, but they changed their plan.
Okay.
I don't have any control over that.
This is true. But let me tell y'all, this is
Oh,
just a
he
little,
switched up
not
on
a
you.
hustle. It's not a hustle. Because, yes, you can get married, have a baby by a man, and he can still leave. But now he
What's up,
got to
Edwina?
pay.
How y'all doing down there?
And I'm just like, so it's not that a ring or a marriage is going to keep them, because yes, people get divorced and they leave every day. But now when they do that, there could be alimony, there could be assets, there's child support breakdowns. And I'm not saying that should be the hustle, but that's why if you decide to say, hey, I got to be your wife before I have your baby, these are some of the insurance plans that women have. Like, you can act up if you want to. It's going to cost you. Because right now what happens is this. When men, that's why there's really no incentive. And I'm just telling women, and men get mad at me, but I think all women, unless the guy is giving you child support, then it's cool. Because if a man is really doing right and giving for your child, you don't got to get the courts involved. But no, hold these men financially responsible for these children, and I bet you they will stop having as many kids, because it's going to hit them where it hurts, which is their pockets.
Wait a second, Kendra. Hold the men responsible. Wait a second. Hold the men responsible. See, Kendra is forgetting what I just mentioned a couple minutes ago. You all are responsible for if the baby is brought to term. It isn't that men are just having babies willy-nilly. That's what y'all want the narrative to be, but that's not true.
Well,
So, yeah.
I was like kind of the breadwinner in the situation, so I made way more money than them, and I was engaged.
I
so
own two
I kind
companies,
of like
Kendra.
the middle two. I kind of walked away because like it was almost like he was cheating, and then on top of that, just a minute, Tristan. He was cheating, and then it was just like if I got married, I could possibly pay like alimony.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Okay, now things
Because I
change.
paid more, and I have a house. Like, I have my own house. I've been living in my house for 7 years. Thank you. For 7 years. And I make a lot of money. So I kind of...
Okay, so listen, you brought up a good... Okay, this is a good thing. Well, not a good thing, but
Here we
something
go.
that's happening
Modern
now
women, modern
is
women
that,
unite,
yes,
everybody.
there's women who are the breadwinners like yourself, and they got assets that they don't want to align with men with. Okay, I understand that. That's a good point.
Yeah, Kendra, here's something to add to it. Haven't you noticed that when you pay attention to these statistics, when it comes to women making more than the man, haven't you noticed that the relationships or the domestic partnerships or the marriages end? What about that aspect of it? What about the fact that when the woman starts making more, and whatever the case may be, the marriage isn't possible, and not because the man is jealous of the money? I think it's because of the way the woman starts to behave when she has the money. Because there are examples of relationships where women out earn the men, and the relationship does just fine. But majority speaking, generally speaking, when women start out earning the man in their relationship, all of a sudden the relationship starts having problems. So, again, what you should be paying attention to is the fact that men find themselves in a situation where they're being took by a divorce, railroaded by alimony, far more than women do. Picking the few outlier women who will find themselves, the Mary J. Bliges, Whitney Williams, the few women who will find themselves in a circumstance where they're paying for a man long term, yeah, you feel for them. It's unfair. You look at it and you see how it's slanted or whatever. But again, it doesn't speak for much when for every 1 out of 10, it's happening for women at a 1 out of 10 rate. If it's happening 9 out of 10 to men, when it comes to men, that means it only matters what the men are going through in regards to that. Just to make sure we get that clear and that there's no confusion.
I understand that. So you're happy you didn't get married to these men then?
Right.
Okay. So now you want a man that's on your financial level?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So you want a man, okay. So you have how many kids? 4 kids.
I have 4 children.
4 kids. Okay. So now, so let me get there. I guess let me just get there. What's the amount of money you want that man to make?
I would say at least, I would say at least 115,000.
Okay. So you want a man that makes 115,000.
You are really dumb.
Not saying it's impossible, but then that man might say he got to deal with your 4 kids.
Exactly. Don't look off and think it's too late. You've already stepped in shit. What in the world makes you think you get a man making $115,000 a year? You have 4 children. And on top of that, remove the children. You're an average woman. So you only qualify for the average men in the dating market. You forgot about that also. You're an average woman. So, and you have 4 children by 3 different men. You don't think that brings your rate, that brings your value as a woman down? What, because you're an entrepreneur now? Because you got to, we keep trying to tell you women that you all cannot raise your dating market value with what you earn. Only men can do that. And you all created that climate the moment you decided the highest earning man was the most valuable one. The women decided that. So I don't want to harp on too much.
So does that make sense for him?
So I understand that, but my kids are taken care of, and I have a lot of family that are very involved in my children's lives.
You a liar.
So it's not like he would have to.
Stop it, hyena! Don't even finish. A lot of the times, stepmothers in the Black community, they try to act as if they have a special, unique, outlier type of like, oh, this ain't what you think it is. Actually, you ain't got to actually take care of this baby. Which, of course, is a very dishonest thing to say, because if a man were to deal with you for longer than, let's say, even a year, and he's showing zero interest in wanting to be a part of your child's life, you would start to demerit the man. So let's just be honest. The man needs to be a part of your kid's life. What's wrong with saying that? Acting like he doesn't, knowing that you somewhere down the road you'll expect him to, is very dishonest. It says a lot about your character. All you women who do it. And I see most of you stepmothers doing that. It's dishonest.
Hip hop.
You ought to stop.
Hip hop.
I didn't mean to hit those sound effects.
Financially provide for them, because they are financially provided for.
Well, okay, in dating, okay, yes, this all makes sense in dating. But are you talking about, are you looking forward to something serious and living together and all of that?
Yes.
Okay, so in that case, I mean, if he makes that amount of money, he's going to be a financial provider, because you guys will be living together, and I'm assuming your kids are going to live with you, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, so just I think in dating, you're right. The mindset for dating, we just dating, you don't got to take care of your kids. But if it grew to the next level, this man has to be open to living with you and your 4 kids.
Yes.
Right. And that's what makes the original part of what you said incredibly dishonest. Because framing it as if the kids won't be a financial burden, under the understanding that they eventually will, is a dishonest thing to do, is what I'm saying.
So
I understand, like, it is, different. It's a lot. But I feel like whoever loves me will love me and will love my children.
What the hell is even that?
You women need to stop with that. Now, I said this on the last show. Black men are the most active stepfathers probably in the entire country. But any man, and if anybody out here who was raised by a great stepfather or is a stepfather themselves, they understand that just because you made that sacrifice and you took care of that child like it was your own, it doesn't mean that it was something that you necessarily were happy to do. Like, women are creating this idea where we fall in love with you and your child and so on and so forth. There are scenarios where a man has above average rapport with your child, or things kick off better than usual. But for the most part, men never lose sight of the fact that this is another man's seed, it's another man's nut, it's another man's, it's a walking, hungry, loud reminder that a man let off an amazing one in you. And we can never stop thinking about that. We can never stop thinking about the fact that a man conquered your body in that way. And every time that kid gets out of pocket, it's like it is twice as bad. I'm doing what your father couldn't even do for you. I'm doing what your father didn't even have the guts or the time or whatever to do for you. And you think you're gonna try me? It hits a little bit crazier. And I don't know. I think it's taken for granted. And women have seen men in the Black community do this with the fluidity that has now cost Black men. Because now women are like, I need somebody who loves me and my child. That's not how it works. We want some ass. It's time to get real. It's time to get real. Until time is built in and we've built a relationship and rapport with your child, we don't care about your youngin' like that. It's matter of fact, one of the biggest things working against you. You need to keep it under control and quiet while we figure out if we're going to make this thing work long term. Keep it quiet.
Whoever it is, they won't have a problem with it. They will be completely okay with it.
Okay.
So
So
I'm
for
not asking for someone that isn't okay with somebody with children. I'm asking for somebody that, understands, and that is what they want.
right.
Stop. Listen, what you women must understand is nobody wants to raise your illegitimate child. There are just men out there man enough to do it. And that's why he's better than you. And let me tell you why. Because women, on an overwhelming numbers, when you guys are in a relationship with a guy who has a child, if the situation ends, if the romantic situation ends and you break ties with the guy, you break ties with the child and you like, oh, it was so sad. I mean, I love the child so much, but she was calling me and I felt so bad because I couldn't pick up because it would make me think about him. Right? Black men don't do this. I've seen Black men get used in the craziest way by a woman, but they don't reject the child when they see the child runs up on them and the child has a need. He's going to be like, what's going on? How you doing? What's up? What's happening? Where you at? Where your mama? You all right? This is how Black men conduct themselves. And I want you fellas to see that this is what it's cost us. Now women think that there are guys out there. And stop saying that stepdaddy license stuff because y'all want to pull y'all want to pull single mothers. Stepdaddy license, stop it. Look where it's getting you. Look what they're doing. Okay.
I got you. So is the requirement not 115,000 or?
Yes.
You are really dumb.
So he has to
For
be
real.
115K to even be considered.
Yes.
So if he pays 70K, don't even reach out to you.
Let's get one thing straight. Crack is cheap.
I guess 70K is okay.
Ma'am, to hesitate on $70,000 annually that you do not qualify for is so disrespectful to the $40,000 to $50,000 a year or the $60,000 a year guy possibly who you need. And I don't think the $60,000 a year guy needs what is it? 4 kids by 3 different men. I don't think the man making 50,000 deserves those circumstances, because I don't want the $50,000 a year guy stretching his resources that thin. He might need to only keep his stepmother limit or his stepfather limit to 1 child. So you're out with a lot of the lower incoming guys. The ones that are smart and understand financial literacy. You're already out from those guys. I'm not saying that I want my guys under 50 to accept this either. I don't want to respect my everyday men who are the reason why we got roads paved and why we have trucks bringing us things and deliveries at unbelievable rates and all this other stuff. I'm not going to disrespect those men.
I just don't want to be in a situation that I was with my previous relationship, where I dated somebody that made less than me and they felt inadequate. They felt belittled. They felt like they weren't enough.
No, ma'am. If the men you were dealing with who earned less than you felt inadequate in the situation, where are you accountable for it? Let's start there. You women are telling half truths with these. Oh, I started making more money than the father of my kid, and then that messed up the relationship. Well, what's the whole story? Because I don't believe it just stops there. I believe the whole story is you started making money, and then you started making assumptions with where the family is going to go now because you're making more, forgetting that he's in the lead. I bet you it's nothing like being in the lead of your house, and then your woman starts out earning you, and then all of a sudden she thinks you're not in the lead of your house anymore. That's not him being insecure. That's him being a man. Stop with this. You fake ass modern women boss babes. Y'all need to stop acting as if men are intimidated by your money. We are put off by your behavior because of the money. That's different. You're failing to miss the bigger part of all of this. And worst of all, subsequently, you fail to understand men.
Enough. And even though I was constantly reassuring that they were enough, it just wasn't enough because they were looking at how much money I made and could possibly make. I guess I want somebody that's also financially stable as well. So like people that have something that know how to save, that know how to manage their money, because I do. I manage and I save aggressively because I have to save for 4 children.
Good for you. You're an adult.
So
You got a clan of kids.
So I want somebody that is not just like flashy and they just throwing money out there just because they have it, but somebody that's responsible, that values, you know, that want to grow their money as well. So I guess if they have 70K but they're a hardworking person, you know, I would like that.
Okay, I want to read this.
No, absolutely not. There's no man who's taking your 70K settle deal. See, you're so disrespectful to the man who makes $70,000. He now has to take $70,000 that he earns annually. He has his own doctor insurance, car insurance, maybe a gym membership, the things that he needs to make sure his lifestyle is taken care of. Now he has 4 other illegitimate children who you had with other men who you think you're better than. And he has to take care of them, all probably needing health insurance, whatever. And I bet you're probably gonna say, "Oh, they don't need those things." Okay, well let's just take away the everyday stuff and just focus on just everyday stuff. Every time we go out to eat, they're like, of course they're gonna come. Every time there's an outing, I got you to pay for, and now I got all these other kids to pay for. I'm a man who has kids. I got my own kids, and I got all these other kids that come with the situation I got to pay for. And they don't care about this money. The first chance that they get, they're going to try to remind me that I'm not their daddy. Again. Ma'am, you are overvaluing yourself, and I mean by a light year.
Question. Jackson mom said, Kendra, why do you think how many kids someone has devalues you?
Oh my
I feel
goodness.
like it's not the amount of kids, it's how you're doing with them. Well, first of all, I never said anything about value. So you said that, Jackson. I didn't say that. What I will share, and I say this to you guys all the time, I don't consider to be a relationship coach, expert, none of that. What I am is a journalist that dedicate all her energy now to this dating space. So I have.
Okay, Kendra. Well, if you're not a dating, like Kendra, what you don't get is you're never going to be safe with that disclaimer as long as you're giving any amount of dating advice at all. Do you understand that? You don't get to be 1 foot in, 1 out. You're telling people what to do. Okay? You're online and you have a large influence and a large following, and it's in the dating and relationship sphere. And you're telling people what to do. You don't have to call yourself a dating coach, but people are going to hold you accountable for the things that you tell people to do. Just stop. And you are not doing real journalist work. There are real journalists somewhere like, I wish this chick would stop talking. People might think that we actually move this way. I'm not even going to get into what she's wearing. I don't have time. I'm a man. I got things to do. I don't have time to to figure out why somebody would throw on something like that.
Data, right? So what
Hit the like button. We got to get to 100 likes, everybody.
We're not talking about dating. We're talking about cohabitating. So you have 4 kids, and you're asking a man that makes a certain amount of money to live with you and your 4 kids, right? So what I've heard, this is what I've heard from the men. A man that makes a certain tax bracket, he has to work hard for his money, right? He's out here in this grind, making it in the world. For him, does he want to sign up for a woman and potentially her and her 4 kids if he makes that kind of money? Does it make sense for that guy? I'm not saying that I'm not speaking absolute, okay? So I'm not God. I want to make sure I get clear. But that's what I hear from the mindset from the men in that tax bracket. But I never said anything about value. I think money doesn't equal your value, right? We're humans. If you're alive, we're all God's children.
Okay, book. Well, all right, Kendra. Well, under that exact same understanding that you just said, money doesn't make your value. If that's true, then under that same argument and that same logic, date the man who works at Walmart. And no shame to the man who works at Walmart. I just needed to use you for an example, hypothetical man, whoever you are, because I know she wouldn't marry you, and not because you're not good enough. She wouldn't marry you because she believes you aren't good enough. And she believes you're not good enough for her because you don't earn a certain amount of money, which means that your value is directly synonymous with the money you make, which is in contradiction to the bogus statement that hyena just spewed out. It's funny, when we start talking about where women rank and where and whatever, we start talking about certain things that make that back women into a corner, all of a sudden they're like, everybody's great. They're like, really, everybody has value and everyone is like, really has some value. Everybody's a 10. What is 100K? It's like everything becomes everything. It's funny. It's just something I noticed.
So no, I don't use the word value. But what I will say is you got to understand the mindset of the person you're saying, because you're saying this man has to make $115,000 just for you to be considered.
Understand what you're saying.
You got to think about his mindset and what he wants too. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand that. I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever dated a man that makes that?
Yes.
What happened with them? Why didn't you focus on them then?
He wasn't understanding. Sometimes I date some guys and they say they don't mind children, and they do mind because you see their interaction with children. Yeah. So like that is important.
Well, wait a second. You see their interaction. My bad, everybody. What do you mean you see their interactions with the children and then And then that's how you know that they're not into kids. Maybe, just maybe, they don't like your kids. Like, did you ever think about that? Did you ever think that maybe your kids are not behaved? Maybe you don't have them under control. And I'm not saying that I know this to be true. I'm saying maybe. Or maybe that's a possibility. And a lot of times people think that like people are reacting to kids. And a lot of times we're not reacting to the kids. Our frustration might be directed towards them. But really deep down inside, we hate the piece of shit fungal infection that raised the kids. That's really who we're mad at. Every time there's like a bad kid around, I'm just like, God, where's your parent? Like, because you need to be handled and I don't want to do it, but damn, right? Y'all women really think we want to deal with y'all kids? Y'all crazy. I mean, we grow to like them, but don't ever think we just come in like, yay, somebody else's sperm to take care of. Woo. Y'all are playing yourself. Stop lying to yourself. You're playing yourself. And I say that as somebody who like is not against stepfatherhood, like personally, from a personal standpoint. I don't speak for men. But I don't want men to be dumb either. Okay, so much to cover. We had a younger military girl who needs to be put in line also. Not all military women are unmarriageable, but this woman puts into perspective why there's a reputation that precedes military women at this point when it comes to dating and relationship spaces. A hard caution for military women. She's a younger woman, not bad looking, average, but not bad looking. Young little Clarissa Shields side of the game. Shouts out to Corey Holcomb. I really have an issue with okay, let's just play the clip. Let it speak for itself. We still got one more archetype to react to get to the feature presentation. Let's spin the clip.
All right, Kiki, you'll be next. Hello?
Hi.
What's your name, baby?
Trinity.
Trinity. I didn't know what I was saying, child.
It's all good.
The all-new Kendra G Singles dating app is available now on iPhones and Android phones. Just go to your App Store or Google Play Store and download now. Are you in the military? You're in the military, right?
I am.
Okay, how old
retiring.
are you? Thank you for serving our country.
I'm 22.
22. Thank you for serving our country.
Thank you for your support.
Okay. You're 22. Where are you based? Where are you calling us from?
California.
California. Do you have any kids?
I have a daughter, one. She'll be 2 soon.
2 soon, 1 daughter. Why are you not with the dad?
We're just not compatible. He's a great guy. We're just not compatible.
Okay.
Again, now this is proof that regardless if we're talking about inner city women, educated women, military women, whatever women you're talking about in regards to the Black community, we're having an issue with picking fathers. Compatibility is to be established in the beginning, not after reproduction. I say this because I don't think that she believes that she sounds massively unreasonable when she says something like that. She said it too easily. She just was just like, yeah, we're just not compatible. Like, that's just something you can say about somebody who you breeded with. You lady, any woman, not even just a Black woman, any woman who breeds with somebody like, oh, we didn't stay together because there's just no compatibility there. It's just like, golly, you took a lot of steps before you like started thinking about that. Shit. Like, do y'all realize this is not how family trees were built? My family, my dad's mom and my dad's dad, who was his who was his stepfather, but it was his father. Like, my grandmother, my grandfather, I never even seen them shake hands. And of course I'm not trying to like disrespect my family or anything. Like, they're not mad at the decisions that they made. They made those choices for whatever reason they made those choices. But you know what was cool? I always saw them together. And you want to know what? You want to know what else was cool? It never really mattered. I didn't need to see like my grandmother hop on my grandfather's lap every now and again. I didn't need to see them smooch each other up. It was funny how them just being together was all I needed. It's weird. It's weird how like all I needed them to do was just be in the same room and be around me. And I was like solidified. I was happy. And like, and I also say that to say to all you women who be trying to use your kids when you in your families and you wreck your homes, you say, oh, I don't want my kids to see me going through stuff with my man, or my kids were seeing me unhappy. Your kids don't think like that. They just want everybody to stay together. They're not thinking about your relationship. Stop lying. Kids aren't thinking about like, oh, mommy, daddy's fighting. Stop. It's not true. Compatibility, that's not reasonable. See, I think you women are going to come out here and say these things. Y'all don't think that there isn't going to be anybody who's going to say something back. Some of us are going to have something to say. That's called society, community.
And what's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Leo.
Leo. So we got Trinity, 22, in the military, calling us from Cali, mom to a 2-year-old, never married. Have you ever been married?
Yes, I've been married.
When'd you get divorced?
I married at 18, divorced at 19.
Oh, you already, okay, divorced at 19. I know, but was you in the military at 18?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you get married to stay together?
No, I got married so that I can make more money.
I beg your pardon.
There you have it. Either way, what? It was okay, but it's over now.
Yeah, it's over now.
All right, what kind of man you looking for, honey?
I'm not sure if I heard it. I mean, I get it. Women are supposed to be hypergamous or anything. I don't think I've heard anything more manly come out of women vocal cords.
I'm just looking for someone who is financially stable. I don't mind kids as long as you don't have multiple baby mamas. I only have one to deal with, so I would prefer him to only have one to deal with. Someone who makes the same amount or more than me. Someone who's kind and understanding and can switch it up, because
nobody has to be able to make the same amount of money as you, because the amount of money that you make will never be relevant in an equation where the guy will eventually have to pay for everything. That's why when you guys did this, people like KS would just say, well, how much of the household duties do you intend on being responsible for over time? If you're putting all this emphasis on your money, how much bills do you plan on paying? Because of course, if you don't intend on paying any in the long term, why the hell are we even talking about your money? Seriously, why are we talking about your money if you're not going to ever eventually come up off some of that shit?
I like to party, but I also like to, vibe and chill out.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
Someone with bad hygiene, bad breath, can't do it. Someone with 6 kids, a man that is old and has never been married and expects a younger woman. No, thank you. Controlling men. No, thank you.
Now, there's been a lot of jabs at older men, and I'm getting sick of it. And I don't have to be an older man myself to be tired of hearing all these jabs that older guys are taking. And you guys only care about the men in the dating market who are successful. You don't care about the old guy who works at Walmart who greets. You care about the silver fox. You're mad at the silver fox who's got a tux, who's nice, and his jawline's still strong, and he's still pulling women out here, and he's still successful. Y'all are mad at him. And what makes you weird is that you want his stuff. You want his life. You want him to provide for you. Y'all are like, none of these men who are after younger women. It's like these older men can't win if the younger women aren't cooperating. Y'all are leaving out a whole part of this. Older men aren't preying on younger women. I was dating this girl one time when I was in high school and a little bit after college. when my first couple of years of college, also just on and off. And she would always make these jokes about how she was more attracted to older guys, and she wasn't the first girl to do that. And I always believe women. Girls were doing this when I was in like middle school. Also, there was always some girl who was like talking about how she really only wants to deal with older guys, and you just had to take it for what it was. Sitting there as a young guy, fresh, supposedly supposed to be her match from an age standpoint. We all went to high school and watched the baddies get picked up by men who was out of school. They didn't even get on the bus. They hopped in some Cutlass or some shit. Right?
A man that is not smart. I like someone that I can learn from. And if I can't learn from you, then not gonna work.
Ooh, I caught the shade, girl. I don't know if they caught it, but I caught it. She said, if you old and think you're gonna be her trophy, she's gonna be your trophy. She will not.
We don't.
If you old and never been married, she will not do it. Now you said 6 kids. Does that mean?
Now, do y'all see how like out of all that stuff that Kendra G said, she made sure to go back and preference the older guy statement? Because Kendra G is wildly bitter at older men in the dating market. Because she is a woman who is approaching 50 years old, single, no prospects, she's still talking about an engagement that happened 1,000,001 years ago. She has no prospects. And the men who are her age demographic, who are 46 to 50, who make around the same amount of money as her, they're not interested in her. They're not really interested in her like that. And she's seeing who those men are ending up with. And you guys guessed it, is typically younger, better looking women, right? And that's why every time a woman comes through and is like, if you only want to date me just because I'm young, I ain't messing with you. Kendra's like, yep, you tell those older guys who should be dating me that they should leave you alone. I'm telling you, younger black women, these old hyenas, these baby boomer black women, they not rooting for y'all. They want y'all to lose. They don't want y'all to win. They knew somebody when they were growing up. They had an aunt or cousin or somebody who was like maybe 20 something and they were dating somebody in their 40s. I bet you they didn't have all this smoke for that person. Only older guys in the dating market are starting to deal with this stuff where now it's a problem that older guys are involved with younger women, but that's kind of always been the case. There's always been there's always women who are into older guys. You have to talk to the women about that.
He can have 5?
No, he can't have more than 2.
Okay, there we go. So 2 kids is the max. What is the age range? Let's just get to the age range.
I can do 23 to until 60.
Wait a minute now. You just said all that and you would go all the way to 60?
Yeah, like if his wife died,
Wait, say it again?
If his wife died or something, and he's just getting back out there, yeah, cool. But if you're just old and ain't got nothing to show for it, then...
Oh, I get it. So if he's old and rich, you don't really care why he wants to deal with you. This is just like the woman who we reacted to yesterday's feature presentation. You women only want older guys because they have money, but they can't want to deal with you just because you're young. That is absolute bullshit.
Shame in yourself.
You're ridiculous, women.
For real.
You're ridiculous women. You're like, oh, he has to have something to show for that age. Right. What is that? That you wouldn't be talking about dollars, would you? It's funny when it's a broke older guy, you like, oh, you just an old pervert who want to get some ass. Motherfucker, get your old ass away from me. But when it's an older guy with some money, It's an opportunity. Interesting.
Okay, I thought you didn't want, that would be a sugar daddy. Because what would be the reason of you dating a man almost 60 at 23?
What's the reason?
It's a lot of reasons. They still work down there.
Okay, well, this is fine. This is fine. Your request is
So the only reason, other than, of course, obviously money, is getting your poon tickled.
You want to pull up? Pull up then.
Hit the wrong sound. She needs the right sound. There we go. There's her sound. Late. Still fitting. This is really tragic.
your request. I just thought when you said old, you didn't want an older man, but you are open to an older man.
Yeah, I'm open to him.
You know, this is why people were getting mad.
I'm not even gonna let you finish, Kendra, because I don't want my audience to hear what you have to say. Shout outs to Amazement 17. He says, I know you may go, but here's the ties. Anyway, much love, man. Appreciate y'all who are gonna come in and donate, even though we made truth. He says, turn the AK on herself. Yeah. Much love, Scorp God. He dropped 10. Crazy work. Crazy work. And Kendra, yeah, like it's funny. You were cool what she had to say until you realized that it's funny. You thought that she's against dating older guys. No, she's against dating older guys who don't have money, which go figure. But again, money helps us be more valuable in the dating market. How's your money helping you with getting a man, Kendra? I heard you got a lot. Heard you got a little apartment, little Bentley. Rented or not, it's nice. I saw it. It's nice. Good job. You're always at some parade. You're always out. You're always on vacation. Seem to be doing pretty well for yourself. How come we can't help you get a man? You the loneliest boss babe we've ever seen. I'm not letting you finish. You were about to try to like make a comeback for old broads. I'm not going for it.
Just go to your App Store or Google Play Store
and I like old chicks,
download now.
but you're not about to do that.
Hi. What's your name, baby?
My name is Kim.
Your name is Kim?
Kim.
Kim. Kim, where are you calling me from?
I'm from Connecticut.
Oh, Connecticut. What part?
New Haven.
Okay, I'm from Waterbury.
I know. The Waterbury's dirty, Kendra.
Well, New Haven girls is ghetto.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact. But I'm not one of them. I can't believe I'm up here.
Waterbury's dirty. I'm not one of them. I clean up pretty well.
I know that's.
With how I'm seeing you snatching dreams out of there and patting your weave or whatever, if you're what's light out in New Haven, my goodness. Much love to David Edwards. He dropped 15 also. Much love, bro.
Right.
Let me say this true story. So I grew up in Waterbury, Connecticut, which is like 30 minutes from New Haven. But we used to go to New Haven when we was in high school because y'all had like the club. And the New Haven girls is gangsters. So we used to always have like a powwow in the car. Like, listen, if a girl bump you in the club, don't start nothing because we can't be fighting these New Haven girls.
That's hilarious.
All right, Kim, how old are you?
I'm 37.
All right, so we know Kendra was getting her ass beat out in New Haven. Thanks, Kendra. Let's continue. Kendra got drug out in New Haven.
And where you from?
Kendra, I just told you, Connecticut.
I'm so used to asking the question. It's a part of the list. You're right. You have any kids?
I have one. I have a son. He's 10.
You ever married?
Yes. I was
Okay.
married for 9 years, a long time ago.
So when did you get divorced?
Oh, like 5 years ago?
5
Squared Away says for Big Back Ashley Dalton. Much love, Squared Away.
years
Thanks
ago.
for that.
Okay. And what
Dollar
you do for
Crew.
a living?
You one of them ones, bro.
I'm a serial entrepreneur.
Oh my
Say it again.
God. I'm so
I
tired
said I'm
of
a
hearing
serial
this.
entrepreneur.
You're a serial entrepreneur. So give me like what
Give
do
me
you do
something.
as an entrepreneur?
All right, so I own my own daycare. You see my shirt?
You say you
I
own
own my
your own
own.
daycare.
I own my own daycare.
I'm here to tell
I
you
own
right
properties,
now.
rental properties that I
own
own,
2
that
companies.
I rent out. So I'm into real estate. I just finished real estate school, so I got to take my test.
Listening to me either, because yes, I am a strong woman.
Or daycare owner. I also sell cars. I do a lot, Kendra, so you can put whatever you want. Just know I get to the bag.
Daycare, real estate, and you sell cars?
Yes.
Okay. What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Pisces.
I'm a hustler too. So a real hustler just is a hustler. That's just what it is.
That's what
I sell hair,
Shame on you.
I sell water.
Let's get one thing
whatever
straight.
it is, I'm a seller.
Crack is
Actually
cheap.
don't sell hair or water though. Kim, Connecticut, 37, Pisces. Mom to a 10-year-old, was once married. She's a serial entrepreneur. She owns a daycare, does real estate, sells cars. All right, let's get to it. What kind of man you looking for?
Oh, let me turn this heat off in this car. I am looking for. I'm not. All right, so I really just clicked it just to see, but I am single, but I'm not really. I would say he got to find me. I'm not really out like on the hunt, like on the prowl looking. But I'll tell you what my.
He has to find you. What do you women like? Do you women really be thinking that like the world is like a Tyler Perry movie or something? Like, do you ladies think that the life that you're living is a movie? Because if you do, you need to stop. You need to start acting like an adult. Your life is not a movie. And here's another thing. You don't have a person. Stop saying that shit. Whoo. Stop saying that shit.
Shit, say it again. Say something else. Oh!
You don't have a person. There's not a guy out there for you. Stop it. There's a guy you're going to choose to be with. There's a guy you're going to make a practical adult decision on. I know that don't sound entertaining. That don't sound loving. It don't sound romantic. It doesn't sound like it's the motherfucking Notebook. But listen, it's life. It's what built your family. You like your family reunion? Your creepy uncle? Your loud aunt? Do you like them? Well, you wouldn't have your family if it wasn't for people who like, if it was all based on happiness, there'd be 3 people in every family. I don't know, guys. Sometimes it's disheartening.
What I would want my man to be, right? So you got to be. Everybody says God fearing. Yeah, you got to believe in God. Yeah. All of that. You got to kind of come already put together. Like, I don't want to build a man. I don't want to do that.
How fucking dare you? How dare you, man? Like, ma'am, you're overweight. And I bet you have this thing like whatever man you're with, he should work through you with it, right? He should be patient. He should be patient about the fact that you weigh more than him. And that if you really, really, truly got upset and just like leaned on him and laid on him, he truly wouldn't be able to go anywhere. Like, you don't think that that's a problem. But you don't want to work with a man through a process he has to deal with, anything he needs to build up, anything he needs to fix. This is what I'm saying, fellas. No more process. No more dealing with women and like you have to work with her. They're not trying to build with you. These modern women ain't trying to help you do shit. So you should hold out to your 35 and 40 and pick the ideal younger woman and be picky. That's what I think. I don't like when heavyset women are like out here saying anything like about ambition, discipline. You've lost all rights at letting yourself go.
You gotta be a character guy. I'm real big on character. I don't want nobody. I don't want a liar because I'm not a liar. I want you to be able to provide because I could provide. Like whatever I ask for, I'm able to bring it myself. So I want you to be a provider. I want you to be able to lead me because I'm tired of leading.
Ma'am, it doesn't matter if you can provide. It doesn't matter if you can provide also, because we're not looking for you to provide for us. So that'll never be anything we'll care about. You need to stop saying that. Oh, like we don't care about y'all money. Stop. Much love to DJ Talent. He dropped 10 more. He says typically leftover home records. RIP Kevin Samuels. Thon Next KS. Much love. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Y'all see that? There's always people down in the comment section who are like, this guy thinks he's Kevin Samuels. This guy thinks he's this. This guy thinks he's that. It's like, y'all are wild. It's like, it's the people who try to put me next to these people. And I do find it flattering. And I'm not going to like not go with it when people say it. I'm think it's flattering. And I'm going to keep enjoying it in your guys' faces.
These men nowadays, you gotta lead them. I don't want to do that no more. You gotta be able.
Well, no, and you said nowadays, you're acting like, again, we talked about with big women, overweight women have an issue with normalizing the wrong norms. What you'll see with overweight women is they have dealt with the lowest, they've dealt with the scum at the bottom of the dating market, and now they've normalized things that shouldn't even be normalized. So now their reality of the dating market is muddied with bum guys. They think that every guy in the dating market is looking for somebody to live with. They start thinking every guy in the dating market is looking to be taken care of. And it's like, no, fatty, that's your experience because you refuse to get in the gym. So it's your experience now because you didn't want to do better for yourself. So now you get to date the guys who need to be taken care of and need to be led. And I'd say that that's not even a guy who wants to be kept. A guy who wants you to lead him, he doesn't even want to be kept by you. You are something to do until he gets on his feet and is around a respectable woman. A lot of the times. Some guys end up staying with their fat girl, but for the most part, you know, you were eventually something to be stepped on. Right? And you put yourself there. You didn't have to be something to be stepped on. You could have went to the gym. You could have chose a different diet. You let yourself go. You knew what happened. You kept doing it. Much love to Reed Merweather. He says she's built like Lavelle Crawford. Let's continue the show.
Be a role model to my child. Like he has his father. He doesn't need a father. His father's very active. But if you're
more single mother dishonesty. Single mothers out there in the Black community, it does not help you to act as if the child that you know the man who comes in and deals with you will inevitably have to take care of. It doesn't help you, the situation, acting like he actually won't have to take care of that child. If that guy were to hold you to that, and after 6 years of dealing with you, he's disregarded any type of financial anything. Anytime he needed something to be paid for, he just got quiet. If he did that, eventually you would trade him out. So why you lying is what I'm saying. Why are you being dishonest?
Gonna be in my life, you got to be able to, you got to be somebody that my son can look up to, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, so now what are your deal breakers?
A liar. If you cheat, I'm done. That's a deal breaker for me. I don't like men that smoke cigarettes, because it usually makes your breath stink. Stinking breath is a deal breaker. Stinking body period is a deal breaker for me. What else is a deal breaker? I think that's, and if you into any kind of weird stuff, because men nowadays too, I've been seeing some weird stuff. Any kind of weird stuff, that's a deal breaker for me. That's pretty much it.
So should he look a certain way?
I like dark skin men. I like beards. I like tall, because I'm tall. I'm 5'6.5", 5'7". So as long as you like you know what? I'm not even gonna say that, because my man could be 5'4". You never know. I just don't want to be taller than you. I'm 5'7".
Okay. Oh, you would date a guy that's 5'4"?
I would try not to, but what if he's a great guy?
Okay. I like that you're open-minded, because I don't think, listen, I understand the height requirement. I just don't think it should be a requirement. But I think that it's good that you're open-minded. I hope you can at least get a guy that's your height, like 5'7", 5'6". But because 5'4" would be drastic. But you're right. If it's a 5'4" and he treats you, I mean, Kevin Hart is shorter than his wife. It does happen at times.
Right. And you.
Okay, that's good.
Awesome, Kendra. Bring up a multi-millionaire. That's a phenomenal example. I'm ready to move on to the feature presentation. I'm not even sure if they did a Kendra cam for her. Let's see. Kendra be making people get out of the car. Kendra doesn't care. You could be at your mom's funeral. She'd be like, you gotta do the Kendra cam. I mean, you're on the show. Everybody's gotta do it. Yep, she made her get out of the car.
Paragraph before the Kendra cam. Okay, I just gotta see your legs. I think we can see you. Oh, yeah, don't get hit by the car.
The body Tito. Okay, even in my work clothes. Okay.
The body T. Can you move back? Okay. Woo.
It's there.
Woo.
It's the body T. I'm just saying.
You pull your shirt up?
Yeah. Cause I mean, we gonna do it right or no?
Woo! Yeah. Cam. Okay, I just gotta see your legs. I think we can see you. Oh, yeah, don't get hit by the car.
The body Tito. Okay, even in my work clothes. Okay.
The body T. Can you move?
Now, did you hear what Kendra say when Kendra said the body's T? She said it with like a question mark, suggestive. Lady, I'm here to tell you, she shaded you. You missed it. Kendra just shaded you. She said, "Oh, it's T." Like, when you make the statement and then someone raises the question, massive disrespect. Kendra, I'm here to tell you that you couldn't hide how much you dislike these women, how much you look down on them, and secretly don't support them at all if you tried. Kendra was like, "Oh, is it T?" That's funny. Okay. Back to getting serious. Let's continue.
You back? Okay. Woo.
It's there. It's the body T. I'm just saying.
You pull your shirt up?
Yeah.
Like Bernie. That's a big bitch.
I mean, we gonna do it right or no?
Woo!
Yeah.
You get your big fat ass on somewhere then.
Yeah.
I don't deal with you big sassy ass broads.
Okay. When was your last relationship, Kim?
Like 6 months ago.
Okay. 3 flaws you have. No, you don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
With him, like 6 months ago.
Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on.
Patience. Sometimes if I get some red flags, I'll stop talking to you because I don't got time. I got too much going on. So I could be more patient. Probably trusting people more.
Okay.
What else?
Okay, we're done with you. We have to head over to the feature presentation. She's not gonna get a guy making $100,000 a year. Did she even get to that part yet? Damn, I think we gotta listen to her.
Because it usually makes your breath stink.
She said something about it.
Stinking breath is a deal breaker.
She said something about a guy making 100.
100K? The list is real short out there. Okay. Should he make a certain amount of money? Now, you said you want him to have his stuff together.
Yeah,
I think she said something about a millionaire. That's why I gotta stay here.
I make a lot of money, so he got to make at least. I would say at least like at bare minimum 100,000.
Bare minimum 100K?
Yeah, because you
get
can't.
your
You
big fat
gotta
ass
be able
on
to keep
somewhere.
up with my lifestyle. I
don't deal
vacation
you
a
big
lot.
sassy ass broads.
I beg your
I don't
pardon.
want you to be able to be like, if I want to go on a vacation, I can't do it because I got to pay my bill. No, I need you. I'm sorry.
Now, guys, notice she just demanded amount of money that she obviously doesn't qualify for. Okay, but notice that after she asked for the amount of money, she's not thinking about potential kids being taken care of. She's not thinking about hell, even rent and food in their mouth. Insurance. Can he pay for a lifestyle? Can he take care of the necessities? Is his investment plan over time? Nothing of real significance. She mentioned he needs to be able to travel with me. We're 2 for 2. We're 2 for 2 on Travelicious tonight. 2 for 2. A guy making $100,000 a year, he's a rare man in society. He's worked very hard to get there. I don't care what you guys are saying out here. I don't care what inflation does. You guys are never going to be able to minimize $100,000 a year. It's a significant amount of money. He did not work to get to that place to be sitting up, laying, looking at you and dealing with a woman like you. He doesn't have anything to do. He can't do shit with a career woman. He's a 100K man. He could date a woman working at Denny's and he'll still be happy. So what does he need to do? Work dealing with a woman who has all these jobs. And she's fat. And she's got a bunch of jobs. Come on, man.
Why?
Sorry, but 100,000 is probably bare minimum.
Okay.
And I don't want a man to be intimidated by me either. Because I make so much, I don't want a man that's making 70,000, 80,000, even 100,000 is low, but I'll take it.
How fucking dare you?
My dog die alone. You get your big fat ass on somewhere then. I don't deal you big sassy ass broads.
Lady, you got to be out of your mind. I'm here to tell you and any other woman who obviously doesn't qualify for 100K, I'm going to tell you all the same thing. Trying to downplay the significance of $100,000 will not move you closer to qualifying for it. This is juvenile. This is not how intellectual people, this is not how reasonable people deal. You're trying to shrink 100K down to your size. It's not going to work. It's just not. Trying to make 100K something easy to obtain or create an allure that it's easy to obtain so that you don't sound ridiculous for asking for it. That's not what you get to do, big girl. That's not what you get to do, Bertha. I'm upset. You really hit my nerve in a crazy way to act like you would be settling for $100,000. If this week wasn't so delusional, you'd probably be the feature presentation. But that's just how far the delusion is just, it's overflowing this week. Yeah, you guys have to excuse me. I'm in shock. I just can't believe we have overweight women talking about. We have overweight women talking about. I'll take 100K if that's all you got to offer. I hate to say, after all this time doing this content, it never stops being disappointing, somewhat disheartening as well, because you know the women who think like this are going to lose. You women are going to be dog owners. And us men, just because we can see it happening, it doesn't mean we're happy to say it. It just means it's true. This is awful. And Kendra, shame on you for bigging it up and wanting to push back on men who say that they were SA'd, but you don't have any pushback for these women when they say ridiculous things that don't make any damn sense.
I don't want a man to look at me and be like, oh, you know, like she's the breadwinner and feel, you know, intimidated, because men do that as well.
No, they don't. Especially what happens is in the community, especially nobody can take your opinion serious because you date the losers in the dating market because you're a big girl. But even generally speaking, what happens is that you guys gain money. And when women start out earning men, you start thinking you can treat men differently. That's the problem. That means you change first. If you start out earning your partner and you're still okay with being second, you'll win. But how many of you black women can out earn your man and still shut the hell up when he says shut the hell up? How many can you do? Can you do it? Are you gonna or are you gonna take your are you gonna take your money, your little 100K, and
I see a big tray,
and you're just gonna leave?
I'm leaving here with something.
Which one is it?
You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
I can't believe you women are just wrecking your homes too. I can't believe you women are wrecking your families when you start out earning your men. And then you think that the man is intimidated. No. He's just not going to accept a new deal now that you making a little money. You don't let feminism poison your mind. You're trying to negotiate a new deal. He don't go for that. Then you say he's intimidated. That's where you're wrong. And y'all need to stop this. Because y'all are leaving the fathers of your children under this logic. Stop. It's annoying.
And this is a real conversation. This is real talk. So I understand what you're saying, logically speaking.
You don't understand shit.
What if, you say you do pretty well, you make 100K or plus, whatever you make. And he comes to the door.
I make over 2.
Okay, so that's why. So you make over 200K. So that's why 100K is low to you. Now, just hear this out. Tell me if this would work. If you met a man that made 70 and y'all joined together, when that your eyes move? Wouldn't that
Bertha, don't you dare roll your eyes at 70. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it through this one. We got to move on to the feature presentation. I don't know if I can make it through this one. I can't handle Bertha rolling her eyes at money she's not qualified for and having this evil body language. I got to start watching these again and watching them through in full duration and not just blindly reacting, even though I enjoy blindly reacting with you guys more, because I got to know when I'm going to be set off like this so I can mentally prepare for it. This is aggravating. Robert says, all the money in the world doesn't make up for a size 14 with a bad attitude.
You get your big fat ass on somewhere then. I don't deal with you big sassy ass broads.
The men have spoken.
additional 70,000 to what you guys already had if y'all joined as one?
Yes, he would. So he, ooh, 70,000. That's low for me. Like he would have to be.
This chick has lost it. Shout out to Angelo. He says, in the words of the Godfather, girl, put your dick
My
up.
dog died alone.
Yeah. I don't know who this woman thinks she is. But I tell you what she can't do is treat 70K like it's something she can laugh at. Do you think that a 70,000, he's above average. He's not making 100K, but he's doing well. Do you think he's happy to lay down with your fat ass? DJ Talent just dropped 5 for me to let the AK off on you. Thanks, DJ Talent. Shooter for Sharon. What's up, Terrence? How you doing?
I don't even know if I can. See, I think it's hard because I'm a boss. It's hard for me to date workers, right? Men that like work 9 to 5.
I beg your pardon?
I don't think they really understand my lifestyle. But if I can find a man that work a 9 to 5, I don't have a problem with it as long as you make a decent amount of money. But if you make 70,000 to add to what I make, yeah, but I just feel like a man that makes 70,000 gonna be like feeling some type of way. He gonna be jealous. He gonna be thinking I'm doing other stuff with men that have more money than him. I just don't want to deal with that.
Well, let me.
I promise you, ma'am, you don't have anything to worry about because you're not going to get with any of these guys. You won't have to worry about those problems. You're not going to get with any of these men. And you're so wrong about you thinking that men are intimidated by your money. If a man is making $70,000 a year, he can take care of himself. He can do whatever he needs to do. He's paying for his gym membership, his little game, whatever it is that he does. Beer money, whatever. He good. What makes you think men get with women who earn more than them, and then we still want to be in the situation, but we sitting there like, she really gonna spin that in front of me like that? That's not how men think. Now, if you were to start out earning your guy and then all of a sudden you're doing things without him and that isn't what you guys were doing before, yeah, it's the actions you're taking because of the money, not the money. If you start earning more money and then, hey, he just looks up one day and you're like in Peru or some shit with your friends and he didn't even know you left and you didn't tell him because you knew he didn't have the money to go or whatever the case may be, yeah, he probably would take that as disrespect. But that doesn't mean he's intimidated by the money. You women are leaving out your actions associated with these bogus ass stories. Nobody believe y'all. I know I don't. I don't believe shit you women be saying, especially you home wrecking single mother and career women who wrecked your home because you thought you were better than you got. The moment you started making more money than him, you thought you were better than him.
Ask you this, do you normally date men 100K plus?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So what are the issues you're running into with the guys that do make your salary requirements?
It's always something else. It's either some of them, they be cocky. Men that have money sometimes, they be feeling themselves, so they be a little cocky.
So you don't want to date the men who don't make $100,000 a year. You completely and that's some of the 100K a year's homie. That's his dad. That's his uncles. Everybody who he knows and loves. He watched you dismissed like they were garbage. And the only reason why you deal with him is because he got 100K. And he's not supposed to be arrogant. He's not supposed to have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Let's not even say arrogance. Hell, let's just say he had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Fuck it. Let's just say he had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Does a man out earning the other 70% of the men in society When does he get to be confident in himself? It's funny. And Kendra G, she's the same way. Kendra G she loves wealthy men like every other woman loves wealthy men. But she hates that wealthy men are treated like they're valuable, which is confusing. She's like, y'all are the reason why y'all keep pedestalizing these guys. That's why they think that they're the prize. It's like, yeah, right. Good job of describing the obvious. It doesn't mean that there's anything that the women can do to change it. Women can start standing over there. Women can start dating the guys who make under 100K and change the game, but they won't do it. Therein lies your dilemma.
That's probably the biggest
Can't
issue.
believe we're still here, not on the feature presentation.
They feel like they got it like that. And I don't usually tell people, like men that I date, I don't really tell them too much how much I make because they're intimidated.
Oh my God.
Okay, so 100K at the door.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, let's do the Kendra Cam.
All right, I gotta get out my car. Yeah, I do up to 60.
Okay, you have to go. Now that I see that you're focusing on older men, I can see the salary requirements. Because the older, men are, the more established they can potentially be as well, too.
Right.
So you're focusing on older, right?
The one that I was just with, he was a millionaire. So stop playing in my face, cousins.
You a liar.
You ever meet somebody and they're so boring? You ever meet somebody you feel like they poisoned and they're so boring? You feel like they poisoned you, and they're so boring. You feel like they poisoned you, like.
Ma'am, I'm supposed to believe the last guy you were dating is a millionaire. And this is where I'm leaving and going to the feature presentation. I'm supposed to believe the last guy you dated was a millionaire, and you got it like that. Though you was like, now we almost don't even have to take anything that you said during this call serious, because when you make this kind of a lie and this sort of dishonest statement, now your credibility comes into question in such a way to where now we have to wonder if we wasted our time even listening to the call in the first place. You're pissing me off. You didn't date a guy, like, whatever. Like, stop. What does that do for you in the future, lying about a millionaire in the past? It's annoying. I don't even find it funny. It's just, you're irritating me. You didn't date, you weren't just dealing with a millionaire. There are gorgeous women in this society who not gorgeous women, but they are actual good-looking women. Not gorgeous, but good-looking women who aren't involved with like the best men in the dating market right now. Who are you? You're a liar. And I'm not going to waste my time on you anymore. You're a fat liar. You're a woman who needs to lose weight, and you don't even want to focus on that. You want to focus on being dishonest. Put the damn cheese hoagies down and shit and get your life together, lady. Now, we have got to move on to the feature presentation. My goodness. What a despicable show of a woman. Now, they said, Thon, please look at her Kendra game. We already did it. You missed it. You got to scroll back. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into the feature presentation. When talking about why Travelicious are just some of the most undateable women, this is one of the women who dared to take it as far as we never thought it could be taken when it comes to this Travelicious stuff. I'm going to let the call speak for itself. Let's go ahead and spin the clip and get into it. Feature presentation. Show's already sponsored. We'll be coming back here tomorrow to react again. Thanks to James Dent, who came through and sponsored the show. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's spin the clip.
On YouTube. All right, what's your name right now? What's your name, baby?
Key.
Key, where you calling me from?
I'm calling from Detroit.
Detroit. How old are you?
I am 33.
33. What you do for a living?
I am a leasing specialist.
Leasing specialist. Do you have any kids?
I do. I have 3, 2 different dads.
Okay. How old are your 3 kids?
13, 11, and 5.
13, 11, and 5. Have you ever been married?
No.
No. And what's your zodiac sign?
A Virgo.
All right, let's get to it. We got Key, Detroit, 33, Virgo, works as a leasing specialist, mom to 3 kids by 2 men. I'm never married. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
I just want him to be able to afford me. I don't want to say like I am like bougie or high priced or anything, but I like nice things, so I want him to be able to afford nice things. I don't have a cap on what he should be making yearly or anything like that, but enough to afford us and it not be a issue.
So let's think, okay, so that's fair. You don't have a dollar amount, but you said afford you. So what are some of the things you like to buy that you would want him to be able to buy for you?
I really like traveling. I'm not into like all the designer this and that because everything go in and out of style as quick as you can grab it. So like I'm more of a traveler and a foodie. So like I would spend whatever amount to go anywhere and whatever amount if the food.
I'm a traveler and a foodie. Again, when all the things that a man and all the places a man can be valuable in these women's life, they're just like, yeah, I just need you to take me somewhere. Like, look how lost our women are. Like, look how hindered our women are. Like, it's like as long as I can go on a couple trips, like she said, I'm a traveler. It's like, what? No, if you get with a man who makes significant money and is gonna take care of you over time, you don't want to make his significance in your life tied up in his ability to take you on a trip. Women this is why the divorce rate is so high. When you women stop feeling happy and you stop feeling stimulated, when the fun ends, you start thinking that there's a problem, or maybe you're not compatible anymore, or maybe you never were compatible. It's like, no, bitch, you're just bored. And you're about to destroy a family. You're about to destroy a family potentially, or destroy the potential of being able to start one because you want to go have fun. When does like the kid shit stop? Michael says that traveling has become a real addiction for black women. It's like, right, you need to be saving them ducats up for when you're going to be by yourself. You spending it on a trip, y'all going to need this money when y'all going to be sitting up with that dog. You're focused on the wrong shit. You need to be saving up some rent money. Because a lot of you women are going to be by yourselves because y'all think y'all make the rules. Men don't make the rules either. We just sort of, a lot of them lean in our favor, so it seems that way. But men don't make the rules either. The game is just the game.
So when you travel, is the expectation he's paying for himself or for you and himself?
For us both.
Okay. And how often do you want to travel?
With my job, it's kind of, I want to say about every 3 months or so.
Every 3 months. And how much do you typically spend when you travel?
It depends on where I go, but at a minimum, like if I'm staying there for a week, anywhere from like 2,000 and up.
Okay. So I mean, y'all was staying in the same room. So let's just say 3,000 because y'all can at least share the room, but then you can have flights and food. So every 3 months, so 4 times a year, you want to travel and let's just round it to 3,500. So he needs to have an extra 3,500 4 times a year for travel.
Yes.
Okay. So outside of everything else, have an extra 3,500 a year. No, 3,500 times 4. Let's do the math. We have about to have a math class, and that's just for travel. You got to do dinner dates and all those things too, right?
Yes.
Do you want gifts too?
I don't want to overwhelm.
Okay, so travel alone, you got to have an extra 14,000 a year to travel.
Okay, that sounds fair.
Okay, that sounds fair. And then that's just travel. That's not dinner dates. That's not like,
I'm not stingy. I'm not cheap. I give what I receive. Like, but I'm not giving first because I have been through that and I have been used and I have been abused for that. So
well, y'all need like BWs for sure. Y'all need to start getting down to the bottom of why y'all end up in these circumstances and not just blanketing it like that and just leaving it there and saying, I'm getting used and abused. Why are you finding yourself in circumstances where you're dealing with the worst men in the dating market? Why is that happening? Why are you in a situation where you're now dealing with the men who need somewhere to stay? It couldn't be that you're avoiding the things that men find valuable and you're not hitting those marks, like weight. That's the main reason why Black women find themselves dealing with scammers and users and abusers, is them not taking care of their weight, them thinking that fitness don't matter in all of this. When it does. If you're overweight, you're going to deal with guys who you, in other words, wouldn't have dealt with had you not been fat. So keep that in mind as you say that your weight doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay. I'm not doing it.
Okay, so if a man doesn't have an extreme, if a man can't afford to spend $14,000 a year on travel, should he not reach out?
No.
Hello? Girl, he got to get you a phone first. Before you go on a trip, we got to get you a phone. The question. So if a man can't afford to spend $14K a year on trips.
You rounded that up to $14K. I said.
Well, you said, here's the deal. You said 4 times. You said every 3 months.
She didn't round anything up, ma'am. She added up the trips, the amount that you said each trip would take. She just.
So there's 12 months out the year. That's 4 times a year.
Right.
You said you spend about $2,000 on yourself. So then, okay, it should be $3K, but if you want him to pay for the whole trip, now the hotel y'all would share, but you know, if you went to a resort, so I rounded up to 3,500 because you said you want to go on a weekend because you know you gotta pay for the trip and you might buy stuff. Maybe it could be 3,000. Okay, so maybe 10,000. Does that sound okay? We'll go with 10. I'll lower it. So if a man doesn't have $10,000.
Mike says she ain't spending $14K a year on nothing. She lying. Yeah, I don't think she is either. I think she's being dishonest also. I just don't think she thought about it before she said it. That's what she wants. She wants some guy who will pay almost 15 or whatever, almost $20,000 a year on just her vacations. That's what she wants. But it isn't what she can afford. Now that she's realized how it all sounds added up, she's trying to backpedal. Just for traveling to be a deal breaker, to be talking about this ahead of all the other things a man could be valuable for, is what I've always talked about when it comes to this Travelisha thing. Women who are putting traveling, they're prioritizing a man's ability to travel over the things that women have historically picked a man for from a wise place. This isn't a better way to pick a man. Oh, I need to first make sure above all that he has a passport. That's stupid. No woman has ever done that. Until modern day Black women, they're starting at passport. It's like, come on, this is why y'all are marrying the least. You're the least serious. It's really simple.
Extra in a year span to go on travel. Should he not reach out?
I wouldn't say that. No. He can still reach out because listen, I'm the type of person. Okay, well, the type of man that I'm looking for, I really would like him to be an entrepreneur. So somewhere where I can help him get more money because I'm always looking to add. I'm not just always take, take, take. So, like, if you're like have your own business and you don't have good marketing skills or you don't have as many clients as you could, I can help in those areas. So, like, I'm just not taking. I don't want to get on here sounding like I'm just in for the taking because I'm not. So,
okay. So money matters, but you're willing to work with him.
Right.
Okay, fair enough. Let's
You a
keep
liar.
going. Key, here we are, Detroit. All right. So did you have any deal breakers?
No more than 3 kids because I have 3 and I just can't deal with.
Someone told me to ask you this question. I missed this. They said when you travel, are the kids traveling with you guys?
No, I have to be with a guy for some time for me to just bring my kids in that type of space. So no, not.
When that would happen, is the expectation that he pays for you and the kids, or would you chip in?
No, then we could do like a half and half type thing.
Gotcha. Okay. What are your deal breakers?
No more than 3 kids.
Michael dropped 10. He says we need a new compilation for Travelicious for TikTok. That'd be a cool idea. I remember when that went viral. I hate that we had the issue with the channel. Then we had to delete a lot of our content just to be able to save the channel. So depressing that we can't go back and find all that old work. We had the backdrop with all the like different pictures. It was hanging off. It was raggedy. I didn't appreciate it. I took it for granted, you know. I think about those times, think about those days. I don't even remember a lot of it. It was a blur. A lot started happening. We started the channel. Then we were like immediately in like high profile internet beefs. It was wild. We're gonna start doing some of the old stuff we used to do. Much love, Michael. He's been dropping some cash here lately. He dropped 30 right here in this last one. Just showing love right here in the last minute. I think that puts us at 200 for the goal of the entire show. So let's go ahead and continue. We're almost at the end of
He can have 2 child mothers. No more than that. I'm trying to think of something else.
I want to see the Kendra cam. She's been here for a while, getting a lot of our time in. Okay, it's gonna come.
Who I can learn from financially because I am a spender. Like I will spend like nobody's business. I'm working on that, but I need a little bit more. A guy who is structured. So if you don't have any structure, I can't do nothing with that because we'll be all over the place. So I don't know off my head deal breakers, but of course not a liar. Of course you have to have your hygiene together. Of course you have to have a bare minimum in your house with her. And I can't think of anything else.
Okay, that's okay. We keep it going. I do want to respond to something because I should have got the name. Someone said, "Don't worry, girl. Kendra wouldn't do that too." When we're talking about the travel, girl, y'all don't know what I would do. First of all, this is about you. But in Kendra's own personal world, I don't have a travel requirement because I travel very expensive. So I'm not gonna put that bill on nobody. So actually, I would not have a traveling. I do not have a traveling requirement because I just know how I would like to travel, and I just think if I told the person what it was, it would be ridiculous. So I'm just going to do how I want to do it. But no, that's not true. That is not true. That is not true. I would not have a travel requirement. I don't have a travel requirement. But back to you, Keith. All right. Did he look a certain way?
Here's the kicker, Kendra G. If you, especially, excuse me, I am getting over being ill. You guys will have to excuse me. When it comes to you, Kendra G, and having a travel requirement or not, this isn't even where your issues lie. You are a very foolish woman, and I'll tell you why. Because you have a significant amount of the work already done in being a good-looking woman. Not gorgeous, but better looking than you typically see out here at your age for sure. Now, let's talk about what's stopping you from getting with the guy who is what you think would be your match. The guy who's 45 to 55. And let's say if you make $300,000 a year, I don't know that to be certain for certain, but I'm just going to use that. And let's say he makes $600,000 a year, right? He can afford to travel however you travel. And he doesn't mind affording that traveling if you're worth it. But are you? And that's the question men are asking to all women in the dating market. You guys underestimate what we're willing to do. We're willing to do a lot for a cooperative woman. We're willing to do a lot for a feminine woman. We're willing to do a lot for a woman who's on the page we're on and gets us and isn't trying to change us. And didn't pick us to lead the scenario, just to question us at every turn. Men are looking to do a lot for women of this caliber, but can you be that woman? You're always framing your dating and relationship hypotheticals as if you're dealing with a guy who has less money. You're always talking about prenuptial agreements and so on and so forth. Those are scenarios where the guy has less. Why don't you set up some better faith hypotheticals where the guy has more? I'll tell you why you don't do that. You don't do that because that puts you in a position where you have to now have value. You have to show the world what you would do if all these accomplishments you sacrifice so much for no longer matter. Okay. Let's go ahead and get back to the show.
I just want him to be my height or taller. I'm 5'7", so he has to be my height or taller. Black. Weight don't matter. I just don't want him like extremely big. I don't want to be like discriminative, but I don't have problems with guys with, I call it a baller belly. I don't mind that. So
you better be fit. You better be fit.
Intact, not sloppy. We good.
Long as he's not sloppy.
Yeah.
Okay. We already got to the money, so we can skip that. Let's do the Kendra Cam.
Get up.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You didn't think you'd have to do nothing? Get your big ass up.
Okay. Wait, guys.
What happened?
Oh, what happened? Did she get disconnected? There we go.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I see this body, girl. Okay. I like you.
Yep, built like a sack of damn laundry. Again, how dare you talk about you don't want a baller belly? You sitting up here with Sherman Clump arms. You knock bitches out. Please. I'm not going for this disrespect. I'm not going to have the men in the dating market disrespected. You're big and you're built like shit. That's one hell of a position to be in as a black woman. Because generally speaking, even when our women aren't attractive looking, they're kind of built for something. You're built for absolutely nothing. And again, I only say this is because you have a nasty tone. And you're very deliberate, and you have a lot to say about men to be lacking and to be having so little to offer. You were built to be done wrong by men in the dating market. A lot of you women, if you understood how physical we are, you would understand that when you're built, you could be built bad enough to never be anybody's real girlfriend ever. Like, We're incredibly visual. Some of you women, the reason why you're mad, the guys never treated you right, is because the top part of your body is bigger than the lower part of your body. And I'm serious. Like the top part is lower than the bottom part. And guys, we're not genetically wired to find that desirable any day of the week. You're out of pocket. You're done, man. You're cooked. And a doctor would say that you're overweight for you. I'm not even finishing. A doctor would also say that you are overweight for your height. And then you said you don't want a guy who got a player gut. So you want a guy with a six-pack to lay down with that. Okay. Well, I'll tell you this. You're wrong. It's not how men think. And the nerve of you out of your damn mind. You got biceps bigger than a professional wrestler. Your BMI is off the chart. Dry ass, weave and all that. How dare you? And then it's supposed to be a wealthy guy who's supposed to travel that body all around the year, bringing around something that he's not even proud to take to lunch. This is a sophisticated man. This is a guy who's doing things with his life. This is a man who's somebody, and he's supposed to walk around with a woman built like an incredible. You're crazy. You're crazy as hell. But much love to the person who sponsored the show today, James Dent. Much love to you, brother. Continuing to show love. Much love to everybody who came through and tuned in. This was a very interesting show. A lot was covered. If you missed it, definitely catch the replay. Subscribe on your way out of the platform as well. Hit the subscribe button. Help the channel out. That's just a free way to support. If you come here every day and support and you watch and you don't subscribe, why? Subscribe to the channel. All right. Much love, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. I'll see you guys tomorrow with the show that you guys earned with today's sponsorship. Take it easy. Y'all be good.